watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Coming up on Memphis-Shelby County Schools Report, an elementary school is getting recognized on the national level for its optional school program. Find out what makes Idlewild Elementary one of a kind.
And one of the beautiful things I appreciate as a parent about Idlewild and also as a teacher is that Idlewild values the whole child.
Plus, student reporter Chris Pina sits down with interim superintendent Dr. Roderick Richmond to discuss his vision for MSCS.
Stabilizing the district and making sure that the district continues to have continuity, reassuring the community that the district is in good hands.
And a high school jazz band is ready to compete at an international competition. We go inside their rehearsal.
So the responsibility when it comes to being accepted, it's so large. It's like we're being sent to represent an entire city and even an entire state. We are the only band from Tennessee who's made essentially Ellington in like 20 years.
Hello and welcome to a new edition of Memphis-Shelby County Schools Report. We're coming to you from the studios of Germantown High School Television. I'm Michelle Yu.
And I'm Kendall Stewart. Each show we highlight various people, programs, and events making a difference in our school system.
The state's only dual language immersion program is located right here in Memphis-Shelby County Schools. The program at Treadwell Elementary is producing students who are not only bilingual, but biliterate in English and Spanish.
And as we found out, it's also brought the neighborhood and surrounding community together.
The 7 stages of language acquisition take 5 to 7 years for a student to learn a new language. So if they're a native speaker of another language, it could be Spanish, it could be Chinese, Mandarin, whatever it might be, and then they're coming in and learning a second language, that takes 5 to 7 years. That's research-based, right? However, there's also research that says dual language decreases that academic gap, if you will, between language learning of one language to the other.
And was started with the intent of creating an optional program that would fully immerse students into what we call a 90-10 model.
Where half of the students in the classrooms are native English speakers, half are native Spanish speakers.
So that at many contact points throughout the day, one side is serving as a language model for the other.
I share with them that I understand this.
And she says she's on first grade, but she doesn't say it that well like first. So I tell her how she's supposed to sound the vowels, and she gets better.
Usually, like in American schools, we learn it sequentially. Here you're learning them simultaneously, which means you're building these blocks together, like Lego pieces, if you will.
We don't speak Spanish at home, so when we first came into the program, my kids had nothing. She wasn't speaking much, she was hearing it because in kindergarten 90% of her day was in Spanish.
Mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre.
As she grew, I saw her reading Spanish with an excellent accent.
The unique thing about our program is that it's both English speakers and Spanish speakers in the classroom together. So the benefit for our native Spanish speakers, obviously, is that they're not losing their home language. Their home language is valued. They learn to read and write.
At first, like when I was very little, I learned Spanish, but then I lost it. So then I entered into this program and I learned both at the same time.
It's the same thing as 6 times 2, which is equal to 12.
And obviously for the English speakers, they're getting to start a lot earlier. They don't have to wait till middle school or high school to start learning a foreign language so that they're able to reach a higher fluency, get to use that language at a much deeper level.
This program is rigorous for many reasons. One, having a bilingual teacher who has a great background in not only English and language arts, but also Spanish language arts. It provides a big, that language connection and that translanguaging between English and Spanish.
So when you're looking at a dual language immersion program, language, academics, and culture are the three main pillars. And so for our students starting at 5 years old in kindergarten, already starting to very intentionally understand the culture of people who are around them that are different than them, whether it's the native English speakers or native Spanish speakers.
In kinder, we hablar español.
It takes time. I use a lot of strategies, especially for our English dominant students. When I'm introducing vocabulary, I use total physical response. There's a movement with a word.
Techo, chiste.
Also, there's a lot of singing, a lot of poem.
Buenos días, ¿cómo estás?
We read stories, and that's how I get students to learn Spanish.
Gracias, Leonardo. ¿Están listos?
A bilingual teacher is always understanding that they are connecting that language literacy in such a way that that metalinguisticness is growing, and it's really almost double or triple that of a monolingual.
Da tres palmas. Otra vez.
So in kindergarten, 90% of their day is in Spanish, and then 10% of the day is there for them to learn the foundational literacy skills that they need in English. And then as they move into first grade, there's more time in their day for English, because obviously the further you get along in grade levels, you need more time to make sure that you're getting that academic English that you need also.
We know now that these are still in use today.
Where it says the Bill of Rights was added to ensure that the government would take away important freedom.
So each year it increases by 10%. So by the time they're in the 4th and 5th grade, half of their day is in English and half of their day is in Spanish. And the goal is that all of the students are emerging bilinguals and emerging biliterate in both languages.
They love learning languages and learning. Their eyes light up when we discuss different events, but we're connecting it to their lives.
So I learned a lot more from my mom and my aunts, because they're from the Spanish-speaking countries.
Academically speaking, what we know about language acquisition is that it takes a while for your academic language to catch up with your social language. And students who have been in a dual immersion program have the advantage of having a foundation of literacy in their home language. And so they are able to produce higher in academics in any language.
And so as teachers, we know that we're here for one reason. We have a heart for this work. We have a love of working with children. And to us, it doesn't matter the background of those children. It doesn't matter the background of those families, because our goal and our job is to unite the world and create the next session of students that will go on to be high school students, college students, and will one day run our globe.
This May, 30 jazz bands selected from all over the world will travel to New York for their prestigious Essentially Ellington contest. Hundreds of high school bands auditioned for the coveted invitation. And this year, the Central High School Jazz Band was selected to participate. We went inside the band room to find out what makes this group one of the top high school bands in the world.
Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in as we announce the finalists for our 30th anniversary Essentially Ellington competition and festival. Those joining us for the 30th anniversary Essentially Ellington competition and festival this May are Memphis Central High School, Memphis, Tennessee, directed by Ollie Liddell.
Well, when we got accepted, we were all together in the band room, so it was just kind of like a waiting game. And then the band director was like, "You made it," and then we all just kind of jumped around, and it was a very exciting feeling because we tried last year and we didn't make it, and we all kind of determined that we weren't going to let that happen again. So this time when it happened, we were just like, this is it, this is going to happen.
So the Essentially Ellington competition has been going on. This is its 30th year. It features the best high schools across the country. It was originally just for American high schools. This year, for the first time, it's international. So it's not just high schools in America, but high schools all over the world. It's an honor to be one of the top 30 jazz bands in the world. Boom, 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 boom. I gotta feel that in what you playing. Come on, 1, 2, ready, go.
So the responsibility when it comes to being accepted, it's so large. We are the only band from Tennessee who's made Essentially Ellington in like 20 years. We have a really tough region that we are competing against, and us making it finally is such a large achievement, and I think the responsibility we have is to really represent Memphis, this music city, really well.
It takes a lot of work to prepare for this competition. The students have to be motivated internally. This is the kind of music they have to have it in them, and I foster that, but they have to have it in them, that internal work ethic. 1, 2, go.
The hard work that was involved was really like sitting back and taking the time to like listen, like a lot of listening.
When you listen to the song, you kind of develop the style and the tone of the songs, because jazz lets you display emotion through music. You got to know what emotion to display throughout the music.
Duke Ellington's music is highly sophisticated. He is probably, in my opinion, the greatest American composer. His music is complicated, it's intricate, it's sophisticated in its elegance and in its beauty. Because these aren't like high school arrangements. These are the actual songs performed by Duke Ellington and his orchestra that we have to learn. The reason why we were able to get this music sounded where I have high standards. If we don't sound like Duke Ellington, then we don't sound, it's horrible. Now obviously that's insane, we'll never sound like Duke Ellington, but having these high standards for my students and my ensembles, but also reward growth and getting to that standard is what makes a good sounding musician. It's gotta be greater. We just kind of like scratching the surface. So I want to hear just background in the top. 1.
This teaching style kind of takes it to like you're in the real world, because he doesn't treat us just like we're kids in high school. We have to have responsibilities and take care of our responsibilities.
Ready? Play with me. Ready? Go.
He will not sugarcoat any mistakes. He won't tell you, oh, it sounded fine. There is no fine for him, right? It has to be great or it's not great.
2, go. No, y'all doing ba-da-wah. Y'all do it the same way. 1, 2. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, go. I chose to teach because it's my passion, it's my calling, it's what I'm meant to do. It's like this thing, this music. I want to share that with my students. I want to show them what this being in band can do for you in your life and the change it can make in you in positive ways. I get excited to see them do well after they leave here. Stop. Be careful, you're sticking out here now and then. Listen down here.
He's very passionate and energetic, you know, he just wants the best for us.
And he truly like pushed me to a point no one has ever pushed me to.
As a student of him, I kind of learned that, you know, sometimes you got to put your pride aside and just learn. That's what I did.
And I want to keep instilling that in them, this passion for music. Not just in music in general, just in life. I want to make better human beings, make better Memphians, make better Americans, make better citizens of the world. So that's why I chose this profession. It's something that I'm excited about.
I just feel like our talent and our discipline is going to set us farther than from other bands, and you know, our director, he's gonna like get us straight.
We keep pushing, and they keep pushing, and they see the results, and to see what happens when they do these things is what really keeps us going.
We're winning.
We are gonna win. We are gonna win.
I just want to go there and represent Memphis, represent Tennessee. I know it's only 2 schools in the entire Tennessee state that have made it. It's us and some other school in Nashville. But they don't matter. We're in Ellington now, so we gonna win.
An MSCS choir director has received a national honor. Adrian Macklin of Cordova High is the 2025 Music Educator Award winner.
find your dreams.
The award was presented by the Recording Academy and Grammy Museum during Grammy Week in February. This national honor highlights his exceptional contributions to music education and his impact on his students' lives. Macklin has taught music for 18 years, 12 of those at Cordova High School. He says students have nominated him for the award many times in the past, but this is the first year he decided to fill out the application. He never thought he'd win.
So honestly, sometimes when I think about it, I begin to cry because the work that I do here at Cordova, I think it is tremendous, but to be recognized on a national level and international level definitely means a lot. Also knowing that I'm representing the best of best in music education means a lot. It means that my work has to be true every day because I'm representing all the programs that are helping kids become who they are.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 67th Annual Grammy Awards premiere ceremony.
Macklin was selected out of 2,400 music teachers across the country. The award also comes with a $10,000 prize for Macklin and another $10,000 for Cordova's music program. We have a very special guest on this month's MSCS Focus, interim superintendent Dr. Roderick Richmond. He sat down with GHS-TV reporter Chris Pina to discuss his background and his vision for the district.
Dr. Richmond, thank you so much for coming onto the show.
Thank you, Christopher, for you all inviting me.
Now, I want to start off, not many people know Dr. Roderick Richmond. So, can you give us a bit of your educational background leading to your role as interim superintendent?
Yeah, sure. I started teaching in 1993. I taught for 5 years. I then became an assistant principal for 3 years. And after being an assistant principal, I became the principal of Ross Elementary. I was at Ross Elementary a total of 6 years, and then I moved on to Ridgeway Middle, where I was a principal. I was a principal at Ridgeway Middle School for approximately 3 years, and then I moved to the central office in 2007, excuse me, as a school turnaround specialist, assistant superintendent of school turnaround. I spent a number of years of doing that role along with being chief of school operations. I was also deputy superintendent of Memphis-Shelby County Schools, and then we went through the merger. And during the merger, I was what you would call the chair of the merger, along with being the deputy superintendent and working closely with what was called our I-zone schools. And then we went through the merger. That first year I was the chief academic officer. I was then moved into a role of being over student support services. Most recently I was a transformation officer, and now I'm the interim superintendent here in Memphis-Shelby County Schools. I've spent over 31 years in education in this system.
Now, I understand you've been in the role of interim superintendent since January 21st.
Yes.
What has been your main focus during your first full month in office?
Stabilizing the district and making sure that the district continues to have continuity, reassuring the community that the district is in good hands. Being that I've been with the district for 31 years, I know sometimes people may feel that the number of years a person has worked doesn't mean much, but I know this district like the back of my hand. I know school operations as well as other aspects of how you should run a large urban district. And so my focus again has been stabilizing the district, shoring up areas where we need to shore up to be able to continue to support students like yourself and our schools, because that's the most important aspect of our work in education, is ensuring that you all have the resources and materials needed to be successful.
Mm-hmm. And what has surprised you so far about this position?
What has surprised me is, I mean, many times you don't know what all a position entails until you're in the seat. I've been extremely busy. My day starts about 5 o'clock in the morning, and it normally doesn't end until about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So the commitment that one has to make to this role and job is one that part of it is surprising, but again, you really don't fully realize the full gravity of it until you're in the seat.
Now, having grown up here, you're deeply rooted in the community. How have you been using that to your advantage as interim superintendent?
Well, most of this work, like any work, you should have credibility. You get credibility one of two ways. One way you get credibility is through experiences, and so I have the experience being that I've been here. I've been a teacher, assistant principal, central office leader for the last almost 2 decades. So therefore, I have relationships within the district, both in schools, at central office, and throughout the community. Another way that you have credibility is through your relationships. Mm-hmm. And so what I've tried to do is to leverage my relationships, whether it's parents whose children have attended my school, whether it's former students who know me in the community, whether it's former community partners who know me and people within the community knowing me, and asking those individuals, again, to share some of their experiences with me as a school leader, as a person, as a husband, as a father, as a son, so that those individuals who may not know me or may not ever come in contact with me can possibly get to know me through others.
Now, what do you feel in the years to come needs to be the main focus for MSCS?
The main focus is, first of all, for us to make sure that we have an organizational chart that has what I would call form and function. The form and function will allow us to be a service center for schools, which will enable us to be able to ensure that the proper resources and materials are getting to students so that they can be successful. That's first. Second would be to make sure that we have an effective teacher and leader, effective teacher in every classroom, effective leader in every school building, much like Dr. Stencil here at Germantown High School. And the other thing would be making sure or ensuring that we have the content. When I talk about content, the curriculum that is necessary to prepare students like yourself, Christopher, for the 21st century and the job market that awaits you all, so that, again, you can be successful. We want to prepare our students for college, career, and life readiness.
Well, Dr. Richmond, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. And I also want to congratulate Germantown for having one of the top TV shows, high school TV shows in the nation. That speaks to you all's commitment to this work. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you all in the future as journalists and anchormen. So thank you for a wonderful interview, Christopher. Thank you.
In April, 5 MSCS optional schools were recognized during the Magnet Schools of America National Conference. One of those schools is Idlewild Elementary, which was the only school named the top Magnet School of Excellence, the highest honor given. We visited the school to find out what makes it so special.
Wow, look at that.
Oh my God, no Aussie!
My belief is that it should never be. Education is not sitting in a room and just listening. You've got to find ways to incorporate hands-on learning, experiences that interest everyone.
Of course, we have to be able to know the basics.
9 plus 8 is what? 17.
But the magic happens where you get into that create and evaluate and synthesis and analytical thinking is where those synapses really start firing and where kids start to believe that they can do it and they can make those own connections independently.
We could do 13 plus 11 or 11, 9.
11, 9, 1 to 2.
There's something new every day and we get to learn different things, and it's really fun because you never know what's coming next, and it's kind of like a surprise every day.
One of the things that makes Idlewild unique, especially even in Memphis-Shelby County Schools, is we're one of the few schools where students are optional. Meaning every student from kindergarten through 5th grade is a participant in the science lab, in the technology lab. Even before we received Magnet School of Excellence Award, the national award, we received a state award as a STEAM designated school for the state of Tennessee because of the STEAM principles that are infused within the gen ed classrooms.
Where are the flowers?
So there's a lot of opportunities for the kids to literally get their hands dirty.
We have a science and a science lab, and we get to do fun experiments. We were learning about mixtures and solutions and the difference between them, and so we got to really see the difference
and really taste the difference too.
If you can start that as early as 5 years old, it gives them a platform in which they will grow and develop into future doctors or nurses or researchers.
They just like to think about things. So they like to solve problems using codes, using robots. Just the fact that they touch a robot, they really like it.
I made this complete fighting game that's basically like Smash Bros on Scratch. The code's very not good. Every time I look at it, I just want to throw up and say, this is so not optimized. I would rather remake this.
We've just purchased a new 3D printer, so a lot of students are actually creating and printing their products.
When you combine 3D printing and coding together, it's pretty much like you have your own world. You can basically do whatever you want.
We've got 100 students involved in our chess program.
My chess makes me want to think more about what I do before I actually act on it, which helps me with lots of subjects, helping me get my answers correct on my tests and exams.
Our arts program is one of our most favorite parts of Idlewild as well. Mr. Moody, who's over our Orff Music program, just created and is working on using Scratch to bring into the classroom, so students are able to work on music and poems and create a rhythm to it.
And one of the beautiful things I appreciate as a parent about Idlewild and also as a teacher is that Idlewild values the whole child.
I think that's it, is parents have high expectations, so students here, staff here, faculty, everybody across the board has to rise to meet those expectations. It is kind of a misconception that just because we've got great kids, that it's easy or it just is happenstance. I think we've got great kids because we craft that and we work in tandem with the parents and the community, and that we create those partnerships to make those students better.
It is ever-changing. No day is the same. You walk in and you never know what to expect, but it's a thrill, it's an excitement, you know, you get to see the future. Honestly, I feel very special that we get to see what's to come in the world through our students' eyes, and it makes me happy because I know that once they leave Idlewild, we've given them a base to be awesome citizens.
We hope you enjoyed this month's Memphis-Shelby County Schools Report. If you would like to learn more about MSCS, visit us on the web at scsk12.org.
On behalf of everyone here at Germantown High School Television and Memphis-Shelby County Schools, thank you for watching today's program. We'll see you next time on Memphis-Shelby County Schools Report.